The best investment. It was once said by Brian Smith, a managing partner for the Black River Brewing Company, investing in employees is the single most important investment a company can make. As a working member of American society today, I've learned the value of being paid living wages and gained a lot of respect for employers who make sacrifices to pay their employees more. Most every member of society has to work and needs to make money to pay for things. Money makes the world go round. I got thinking about this topic from the election this year and thinking about the cost of living. I pay tuition, I have to pay rent and my bills, and I don't make minimum wage. I think my first job in 2006, going to be a junior in high school, I started at $8 an hour. And I had lots of spending money, but I didn't feel like Richie Rich. So when I think about families out there who, grown adults with real bills and working really hard, make less than that, it's pretty sad, and I think that something should be done about it. Money doesn't go as far as it used to. I'm from Montana, and I think about when I go to McDonald's or something like that, and you want to get something off the dollar menu, it doesn't even cost $1 because we all pay sales tax. Everything costs more. The record shows that employees who are paid more return more to the local economy, are happier, and work harder. The raise in minimum wage is a smart economic move because it benefits all of us. Even if you work a little job through school or you work a big job, it's going to help balance things out. Raising the minimum wage can help lower the amount of debt that families are in. The first minimum wage law was actually passed in 1938, and it was 25 cents an hour. In 2009, the federal minimum wage was set at $7.25 an hour. And although that number has increased from 1938, it's actually been a 30% decrease when you factor in inflation. It hit its glory days in the 1960s. Around 1968 was actually the biggest year for it when compared to the value of the dollar. And if you are paid $7.25 an hour and you work 40 hours a week for 52 weeks in a year, so you don't take a vacation, you make about $15,080 in that year. And when I looked it up for 2012, the poverty level set by the federal government was $11,490. So, although you're making a little bit more than poverty level, I probably wouldn't go throw a party because it's probably like a week's worth of pay to do that. Over 50 million citizens were in the poverty level for 2012. And the second tier of poverty is about $15,282. So if you are making minimum wage, you fall into about the second tier of poverty level. A raise in minimum wage is good for so many reasons, but a few of them are that it's good for families. It would put more money in their pockets, so they would turn around and spend more in their communities, spend more on their kids, or politics, or school functions and events. It would stimulate the economy. With a raise in minimum wage, people who would normally save all their money or be spending all their money on bills would be more willing to invest or put it out there and buy things that seem frivolous to them when they don't have the money for it. 58% of the growth has been in low-wage jobs when you look at the unemployment rates. And many of those added positions pay the minimum wage or just barely over minimum wage. So as we employ more and more people and try and get the number of people without jobs and on welfare systems into jobs, they're going to be making minimum wage. But if they're only making minimum amounts of money, they're not going to be putting any money back in the economy anyway. It would reduce the amount of families that are in debt as well. So if people had more of a cushion each month and weren't barely scraping the bottom of the barrel, they could actually pay some of the bills that they owe on instead of them just stacking up or them owing a couple months at a time or paying the minimum balance on things. They would have the money to pay those debts. It would also prevent abusive and exploitive employer practices. Some employers pay very low wages to cut-rate workers or even undocumented workers just because they're trying to save money. And this takes away jobs from worthy American citizens who want those jobs. Raising the minimum wage would help those people get the jobs and probably take away the amount of cut-rate workers that are being hired. It would also help with local funding. People who make minimum wage and don't have any extra money already feel like taxes take a huge chunk of their change and probably won't vote for any school levies or increases in police officer and firefighter or public worker wages. We need all those people. We can't just start cut funding there, and they deserve to be paid and compensated for what they do. So if you raise the minimum wage, they won't feel like they're losing so much. Public workers don't even make that much, but when compared to minimum wage workers who have lost a third of their income over the last 40 years, it hurts where it counts to those people. If small businesses will pay out more for their employees, they will in return make it back plus some, because those people will be spending money, and the other people that work other places will come to them and want to spend money at their businesses as well. Productivity will also increase. People will be happier and feel like they're respected and appreciated for the jobs that they do, so they'll work harder. Paying your employees well is not only the right thing to do, but makes for good business, said Jim Sinegal, who is the CEO of Costco. Costco is a huge employer in our nation, and they make a ton of money. So if they can see that they can still make a lot of money and employ a lot of people and pay them more, then it's probably a good business practice. With the current cloud that looms over the head of many Americans in today's economy, an increase in the minimum wage can offer a ray of hope for them that face large financial burdens and give them money to put back into our nation's economy.